All right. Well, hello, everyone. Good to have you here. My name is Jason, and I am director of a program called More2Life. More2Life is a youth development program. We go into schools pretty much everywhere we're invited, and we talk to students about making the best choices for your life. Your choices affect your future. And so we talk about a variety of different topics, but they always center on that tagline is your choices affect your future. And so what we're going to talk about today is a topic that I feel is very important. And the topic we're going to talk about is bullying. So the question is, what is bullying? Well, it's a repeated behavior. So it's usually not a one-day thing. It's not a one-day event and then it just kind of passes. Usually bullying is repeated. It's ongoing on a regular basis. And it says any repeated behavior that is purposely puts someone down. So not only is it repeated, but it's also purposely done. There's no such thing as accidental bullying. You don't accidentally bully someone. It's done purposely. And the mission, the goal in mind is to put someone down, to make yourself feel better, to kind of build yourself up. So it's repeated, it's done purposely, and the goal, the end game is to put someone down. So we're going to talk about three categories of people that are involved in a bullying situation. We got the bullies; those are the victims. The bullies, the ones that are doing the bullying. The bullied; those are the victims, those who are being bullied, and then the bystanders. Those are the people that are not involved in the immediate bullying, but they are seeing what's going on. They're kind of on the sidelines, seeing what's going on. So we're going to talk about each three of these categories one by one. And so here we go. Let's talk about the bullies. These are the ones that are doing the bullying act. And the big question is, why do they do what they do? What is their reasoning? Well, there's a couple different reasons. Number one is to feel better about themselves. You know, they may be feeling insecure. They may just feel low about themselves. So in order to make them feel better about themselves, they will tear people down. So to make them feel better, to try to get others to like them. They do it for popularity because everyone's bullying this one kid, so they don't want to feel left out. So they just kind of join in on the fun, and they just wanted to gain that popularity and feel part of the group. They've been bullied. There's an old saying that says, "Hurt people hurt people." They've been hurt. They've been bullied, and so they just feel like that's the best way to handle it, I guess, and just to kind of continue the process of bullying others. To show that they have power, it's kind of a power kick. If I can make somebody cry, make them mad, make them angry, hurt their feelings in some way, I win, I get the upper hand, I feel powerful. Therefore, to show power. They don't like who they are. Again, they're insecure. They don't like themselves, so they want to make themselves feel better by tearing people down. And then finally, just to get attention. There's another saying that says negative attention is better than no attention at all. So they will just get that attention, even if it's from a teacher. If a teacher's like, hey, leave them alone, at least they're getting that attention. Maybe they're not getting it at home or whatever. So they are they're seeking out that attention from various places. Most bullies, here's the reality though, most bullies don't even realize that they're being a bully. That's the truth. It's very rare that if you pull a bully to the side and say, hey, what are you thinking? Why are you doing this? They're not going to admit, yeah, because I'm a bully, I'm awesome, I'm the best bully ever. They're not going to do that. A lot of times they don't even realize they're being a bully, and they're like, I'm not being a bully. And until it's brought to their attention that what you're doing is bullying, then they have no idea. So most bullies don't even realize that. So once you come to that realization that you're being a bully, you need to kind of change your ways. You need to stop and not continue doing what you're doing. Next, we're going to talk about the bullied. These are the people that are the victim in the process of a bullying situation. All right, there are several types of bullying. There's a couple different scenarios here. There's the physical bullying. This is when someone puts their hands on you, they punch you, they push you, they slap you in a mean, malicious way. That's physical bullying. Also, if they kick you or trip you, that's a form of physical bullying. But also, what if they mess with your stuff? Let's say they take your cell phone. You know, they throw it in the trash can. They throw it in a lake nearby the school, or they just steal it. That could be a form of physical bullying. The next one is verbal bullying. All these mean, nasty things that people say, these hurtful comments, making fun of them, mimicking them, roasting them, but in a mean way, doing a mean impression of them, gossip. That all could be forms of verbal bullying. Then we got cyberbullying. This is when somebody being mean behind the screen. They're saying these mean, nasty, ugly things, but not in person. They're behind their computer screens, laptops, or cell phones, and they're doing it from afar. And they're just, continue to be mean to people. Things that they normally wouldn't say in person, they do it behind the screen, social media, what have you. And then, of course, there's isolation. If you purposely leave somebody out, simply because you don't like them, you don't want them around, they're annoying or whatever, you tell them, go sit over there. No, you can't play this game with us. That's a form of bullying. It's called isolation bullying. So we got physical, verbal, cyber, and isolation. Nowadays, bullying is 24/7. Used to be just at school. You go to school, you get bullied, you go home. You didn't have to deal with it to the very next day, maybe even the very next week. Now bullying is 24/7. Why? Because of cyberbullying. You're being bullied at school, but now you go home, you get on your devices, you start playing that online game, and somebody's bullying you on there. So sometimes there's just no there's no getting away from it. It's everywhere. It follows you even into the privacy of your own home. So like I said, there's cyberbullying. There's text messages, it could be group text or just one-on-one text. People can get mean and ugly through a text conversation. Social media, we got TikTok. You come up with that amazing dance. You got your dance moves on, and somebody's got to say something about it. Somebody's got to rip on you for not hitting those dance moves correctly, or just making fun of you in general. Snapchat or Instagram, you post that picture. You taken 5 pictures of yourself. You pick the best one. You put it up. You put the filters, you make it look good. You think you look cute. You think you look great. And somebody's got to make fun of your physical appearance. They got to say something about your ears, your nose, your hair, whatever, and just be mean that way. YouTube, it can happen on YouTube. As you post those videos, you have a YouTube channel, you're trying to go viral and try to build a YouTube page. Somebody's got to comment. Somebody's got to say something to tear down your YouTube page. And then, of course, there's online gaming. Things can get pretty toxic on there, if as you know, and people can get kind of cruel. And so they say some mean stuff. They tear you down. They call you names because they're mad they lost the game. It gets over competitive, and it can turn into a bullying situation. If bullying continues, it can lead a person to a really deep, dark place in life. It can lead to isolation. People kind of just fear of being bullied. They keep away from people. They stay home from school. They sit alone at the lunch table. They walk the hallways alone. They don't want to set themselves up for being bullied, so they just kind of keep to themselves. They isolate themselves. Depressive disorders, this is when people fall into a depression, and it's not just being really sad. It's to the point where you can't get out of bed most days. Just what you read online or what experience at school, you just can't even cope. You can't even deal, and it's just better just to just feel the comfort of your bed than to just get up and face the day. Self-harm. You may ask, why would somebody do that to themselves? Well, I actually got to talk to a student in our county, and she said that she used to self-harm because of bullying, because when she was bullied, she felt so much pain in her heart that she would cut herself to kind of get her mind off the pain. She would deflect by creating new pain. And she even said this. She said, I felt like I was bleeding out the pain. Now think about that for a minute. That sounds pretty sad, right? But that's what bullying could do. It can lead a person to that deep, dark place and just push them over the edge, over the brink, where they start making decisions that start hurting themselves. And that could just be a really sad situation. Consider or attempt suicide, something we hear about all the time, that extreme bullying can push someone to ending their life. And sometimes it's that happens behind the scenes. We don't even know about it. Parents don't even know that they're being bullied online until it's too late, and then they end their life. And then once they go through their social media, kind of start combing through that, they find out this has been going on. They haven't reported. So if you're being cyberbullied in any way, please tell somebody, because you're not the only one. That bully's probably bullying other people. You may be strong enough to resist, but that one person may not, and they may end their life as a result. And then, of course, violence in schools. People lash out. They kind of push someone away, or they may even take extreme measures and do something even crazier when it comes to violence. So this is what bullying does. And if we don't back off, you may be saying, I'm just messing around, just joking. They can just lighten up and not take things so seriously. Well, maybe they can't. And extreme bullying could lead a person to that place. And you would feel pretty bad if you push a person to any of these levels if you find out that you're part of the problem. So here on the screen, they got a $5 bill. I actually have a $5 bill right here. Does anybody in this class want this $5 bill? Because I can mail it to you. I can mail it up to Ohio, no problem. Okay, so I can imagine some of you guys do. Hold on, before I pick somebody, let me try something. Hold on a second. You're stupid, you're ugly, and you're fat. Okay, who still wants it? Okay, you guys still want this $5 bill? I just called it names. Okay, let me try something else. All right, here we go. Okay, who still wants it? Okay, wait a minute. I just spit all over it, COVID, stuff like that. No, you still want it? Okay, all right. One more thing. Here we go. One more thing. Okay, who still wants it? Okay, guys, help me understand this. I just called it names. I just spit all over it. I even smashed it into the ground with my fist, and you still want it? Why? Oh, because it has value, right? You still can use it. You could still take this $5 bill and, oops, excuse me a minute. Sorry about that. Screen's got a little jumpy there. So yeah, you could still use it. You could take it up to the convenience store and buy something, right? Because it still has value. And case in point, you still have value. Even though you've been bullied, you've been called names, stomped upon, and spit upon, you still have value, and you can be an amazing person no matter what. So please don't let your past define your future. You are special. The way you are, you have value. Okay. Now, since I already ruined it, I'm going to show you a picture of me when I was in middle school. Try not to laugh too hard. Try not to, lose it, because it's not that funny, by the way. All right. So this is a picture of me. I was in 6th grade, and I was extremely bullied. Kids were cruel. They would call me all sorts of names, make fun of my clothes, make fun of my hair, all sorts of stuff. Knock the books out of my hand, throw my backpack in the nearby drainage ditch, all sorts of mean stuff. And this went on all through middle school. I had pizza rubbed in my hair, all sorts of crazy stuff. All through middle school, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, even followed me into high school, where when I got into high school, it just never let up. Now, a lot of the physical bullying kind of went away, but the verbal was still there. That was still going on. And it wasn't until a friend of mine, her name is Sherry, and Sherry and I were still friends to this day. Sherry reached out to me and said, "Hey, Jason, why don't you come hang out with me and my friends?" And at first I'm just like, I'm not doing that. I'm just, you know what? That's a trap. I'm not going to do that. And she's like, "No, come on, sit with us, And I just kept saying no. Every day I would say, "No, thank you. No, thank you." Finally, she kind of cornered me. And she said, she didn't even ask me. She said, you're sitting with me and my friends. And I'm like, okay. So I kind of gave in, and I did. And I sat with her friends, and her friends were cool. They were nice. They were friendly. They were kind. They invited me in to the conversation. And because of their kindness, it kind of helped me to come out of my shell, kind of open up and be a part of the group. And finally, I'm like, you know what? This is okay. And I just started liking school, started developing friendships. And because of it, it helped me to just get out of that funk of just, keeping to myself, isolation, what have you. And high school turned around for me. And it was the best years of my life, all because of a superhero. And I call her a superhero because not all superheroes wear capes. She reached out to me in my deepest, darkest hour. And if she didn't, who knows where my life would have been. I would have been in a bad situation. So I'm glad of her kindness, and I'm glad it helped me out and to get to where I am today. Now look at me. I get to do presentations on bullying and help others who are going through the same thing. So life is awesome like that. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is the bystanders. These are the people that are not, doing the bullying. They're not being bullied, but they're kind of seeing what's going on. They're on the sidelines watching as things go on. Now, here's a fact here. A child is bullied every 7 minutes. Every 7 minutes, somebody in your school is being bullied. Whether you witness it or not, somebody's being bullied, whether it's cyberbullying or behind, around the corner or right in front of you. Every 7 minutes, somebody's being bullied. 85% of the time, no one steps in and helps. No one stands in for the little guy. Nobody says anything. Nobody does anything. They just ignore it and walk away. Now, you may be saying, well, that's terrible. Why don't they do something about it? Why don't they reach in and help? Well, it's because they feel helpless. They want to help. They want to do something, but they just feel like they can't. They're like, do I laugh? You know, everybody's laughing at this guy. Do I laugh too? Do I ignore it? Didn't hear it, put my earbuds in. Didn't see anything, whatever. Another thing is, do I tell somebody? I'm no snitch. Snitches get stitches, and they just don't want to feel like they're being a tattletale or a snitch. The next one is, or what do I do? They just feel helpless. They want to do something, but they don't do anything about it. Now, Martin Luther King Jr., an amazing person, as we know, said this: we will have to repent in this generation, not merely for the hateful words and actions of bad people, but for the appalling silence of good people. So he said, yeah, bad people do hateful words and actions. They're mean people. But what's more appalling than that are people that watch it, that witness it, and don't say anything, don't do anything. That's appalling, and that needs to stop. Something needs to change with that. We got to step up. We got to stand up. Now, I'm with you. I know that it's not always easy to do that. We don't want to get involved. We don't know what to say. But even as an adult, I don't even always know what to say or what to do, but you got to do it. And so I remember one day I was walking out of my house. I live right next to a public park. There's actually a basketball court right next to my house. So I was walking out, I was going to my car, and I actually witnessed one kid bullying another kid. They were on the basketball court. The one kid had a cell phone. He was like watching videos or something. The other kid took a basketball and was trying to knock the cell phone out of his hand and trying to he's laughing. And the kid was like, stop, leave me alone. Stop. And I'm witnessing this. I'm watching it. I'm like, you know what? I need to say something. But what do I say? Okay, here goes nothing. Here we go. I go, hey. Just like that. I just said, hey. The kid with the basketball looks at me. I go, stop being a bully. And the kid kind of looked at me, looked at his basketball, and went back to playing basketball. And I'm like, I did it. I stopped it. I diffused it. And you may be saying, well, what you said was kind of cheesy, wasn't like amazing, right? And I'm like, I know it wasn't. But you know what? It worked. It did the trick. I said something, I did something, and it worked. So if you're a bystander and you're witnessing, say, hey, leave them alone. Get away from them. And who knows, you may be able to diffuse that situation. You just never know unless you try. Don't assume they're going to turn on you. Don't assume everybody's going to hate you for it. You actually may be deemed a hero because you did the right thing. You just never know until you try. All right. Next question is every rude and mean situation a case of bullying? The answer is no. Because like we said in the beginning, bullying is a repeated act. Sometimes if it's done just one time, it's not a bullying situation. It's just kind of an off day, kind of a mean moment. So let's look at these scenarios. I keep moving myself. All right. When someone says or does something unintentionally hurtful and they do it once, see it says unintentional, meaning they didn't mean to do it and it's hurtful, that's just rude. They're just being rude. And people are rude. Some people are rude and they don't even know it. They'll bump into you in the hallways and keep walking, not even realize they did it. That's just rude. The next one, when someone says or does something intentionally hurtful, they do it once. And this one's intentional, meaning they purposely do that, but they only do it one time. It's a one-time event. That's just mean, okay? So rude is unintentional and they do it once. Mean is intentionally and they do it once. That's just plain mean. It's not bullying. But here we go. When someone says or does something hurtful and they keep doing it, even when you tell them stop and show them that you're upset, but you keep doing it, that's bullying. So know the difference. Not every situation is a bullying situation. Sometimes we cry wolf. I've been at schools where a kid accidentally bumped into another kid and the kid's like, bully, he's a bully. Did you see that? And he's crying wolf, right? Because again, not every bullying situation is bullying. Sometimes we'll go ahead and roast some kid and we're laughing and the kid roasts us back and their roast hurt so bad we go home like, Mom, I'm being bullied at this school. no, you're not being bullied. That's a conflict, okay? So not every situation is a bullying situation. So we got to know what's a bullying situation and what's not. We got to know the difference. And like I said, sometimes things are just a conflict. So the next thing I want to talk about is conflict resolution. So again, not every situation is a bullying act. Sometimes it's just two friends kind of going back and forth, and all of a sudden they're roasting each other, and then it gets personal, and then it gets pretty ugly. But that's a conflict, not bullying. So how do we handle conflict? Well, I'm going to turn it over to somebody I don't know personally, but I watch a lot of his videos, and he's got some good advice about conflict resolution. So here we go.
How to disagree with people. Not that you need any help. There's lots of stuff to disagree on if you're looking for it. Cake versus pie, apples or oranges. This sports team versus this sports team. Which movie star is better? Ryan Goose Baby or Charming Tatum? I don't know. Some people even argue for tree.
You just standing there, huh? Listen to this opinion. I have an opinion.
Who am I to judge, though? Maybe that tree said something about his mama. I'm just saying, some people just get worked up about anything. Even One Direction, they're not all going the same direction anymore. Bye-bye, Zayn. Everyone loved you. You broke everyone's heart. Bye-bye. Some people argue about which animal is better. Cat, dog, elephant, or donkey. Anyway. Okay. You're not always going to agree. Even with the most agreeable person in the world. Just saying. So look, in a world with so many things to disagree on, we gotta learn how to disagree without making everybody feel terrible. Step 1, treat people like they're people. People. I know, seems pretty simple. But in a heated argument, you can forget that you're talking to a person, a human being, someone who has a heartbeat. Unless you're arguing with a tree, that's a whole other problem. I can't help you there. Step 2. Listen. Before trying to change someone's opinion, take time to listen to them, even if what they say does not make sense. That's part of treating someone like a person. You gotta hear them out. You got 2 ears and 1 nose for a reason. You gotta listen more than you smell. Pretty sure that's not right. Keep listening. Step 3, pause, breathe, love. When you disagree, you don't want to do some crazy stuff, like yell, or write and release a whole entire album outlining that you're right and they're wrong. Don't do it. Instead, you gotta pause, breathe, love. It's okay to disagree. It's not okay to be mean. Don't say it until you can say it with love. There's plenty of legit stuff to be mad at in the world. This life stuff, it's hard. Let's not just spend our time here being mad at each other. You don't have to see eye to eye to work shoulder to shoulder, people. Step 4. Are you stuck in an argument? Distract them. Look, I know we don't see eye to eye, but baby koalas are awesome. But we weren't talking about that. Did you see? 3 words. Baby koalas. That's 2 words. All you want to do is disagree. Just enjoy the koala babies, man. Baby koalas bring peace. Step 5. Acceptance. Here's something you gotta accept. Not everybody's the same, and that's a good thing. I mean, imagine a world with just full of Rainn Wilsons. Nightmare, right? I'm just kidding, Rainn Williams. You're a beautiful and amazing specimen. I'm just saying, we need variety. We need disagreement. We may not like it, but we need each other. We just gotta learn to be more awesome to each other. It's like what Nelson Mandela said. If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. And then he becomes your partner. And then there's Gandhi. He said, honest disagreement is often a good sign of progress. I mean, both of them have disagreements with people. Well, it's not always easy, but they try to treat people like they're people. We can also look to the words of somebody else. The amazing Pokemon, Meow. We do have a lot in common. The same air, the same earth, the same sky. Maybe if we start looking at what's the same, instead of always looking at what's different, well, who knows? Yeah, that's from the Pokemon movie, so it has to be true. It is true, you know it is. Grown-ups, we kids have been watching you. We've been learning how to disagree with people by watching you. We've seen some healthy disagreements, and also lots of recent disagreements. Nobody wins when all we want to do is win. We got a whole world to make more awesome. No time to be yelling back and forth to each other. Maybe we should stop, breathe, love. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. We can disagree, but we can't let it make us forget. Step 6. Dance.
All right. So that's some wise words from Kid President. So we're going to kind of look at some of the things that he said, how to resolve conflict. So sometimes we get in conflict with somebody and we lose friendships because we can't work it out. So why not we try to work it out? Why not we try to resolve it? Treat people like people. Everyone is human, and you need to kind of insert that golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated, and treat everybody like a decent human being. And we got to do that, and especially our friends and the people around us. We got to treat them like they are people. Next one is listen, listen, listen. Sometimes we always got to win the argument. We always got to have the last word. We don't want someone to put us in our place. But you know what? Sometimes when we sit and we listen to people and hear where they're coming from, changes everything, because people want to be heard. And so instead of just flapping your gums and always having to win the argument, listen, listen, listen. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. That's what he was trying to say. But listen more and talk less, and try to hear where other people are coming from when it comes to arguments, debates, etc. Pause, breathe, love. If things are getting heated, getting a little out of hand, you're getting upset, take a pause, pause button, take a deep breath, and maybe go for a walk, go, get away, and just kind of, calm down, and then when you're calmed down, then it's easier to look at things differently. And then love, love doesn't mean you have to give them a big hug and kiss. It just means you need to be nice to them no matter what. So pause, breathe, love. Distract them if you can't agree. The baby koalas. If you're having a disagreement with somebody and you just can't agree, then you just got to agree to disagree and change the subject. Hey, let's talk about this instead. If this always causes us to fight, then let's talk about this instead and change the subject. And then number 5 is optional because I can't dance. But you know what? If you can dance, you can dance. So anyway, so handle those conflict the proper way, and I guarantee you, you will not lose as many friends. You'll have more friends than enemies if we just learn to get along and resolve those conflicts the proper way. All right. And so that's all I have, my friends. Hopefully you learned something about bullying. We can make our schools, we can make our communities, we can make our neighborhoods a bully-free zone just by simply doing our part to step in for the little guy, resolve those conflicts. If you're a bully, just stop doing what you're doing. If you're being bullied, please tell somebody, please open up to somebody. Just know you're not in this alone. Somebody cares about you. Somebody will listen. Your teacher, your principal, your parents, your guidance counselors, your coaches, youth ministers, somebody will listen to you if you just open up to them. Okay? Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.